2024 is now coming to an end, and I've had several cars throughout this year. One I haven't featured on my YouTube channel, and one was the first ever car to go on my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you the cars that I've had on the channel, had before, and what I have currently. I'm going to start off by addressing the elephant in the room. No, you guys have not seen this car before. This is my 1994 Chrysler Concorde. I've had this thing long before my YouTube channel ever started. I've had this car for about 4 years now, and I've done some various things to it. Obviously, next thing on the list is going to be paint. I haven't started this car in a while. Starts right up every time. Wait for it. There it is, the airbag light always comes on. First, a little history lesson on the car. This particular one is an LXI trim, which is the highest trim. It's loaded except for two options. Sunroof, which I'm glad it doesn't have, and the 3.5 liter V6. This one has a smaller 3.3 liter V6, which is arguably a better engine. Yes, thank you. And it makes a little more torque than the 3.5. Mated to this wonderful 3.3 liter V6 is a 4-speed overdrive automatic, the only transmission available in the Chrysler LH cars. I forgot to mention this car also does have traction control too, so technically 3 options it doesn't have, but still. It's basically loaded. When I bought this car, it had 112,000 miles on it, and now it still has 112,000 miles on it. However, it's been driven about roughly 600 miles since I've got it, in the 4 years I've had it. It only gets driven to lunch about every weekend, but it still runs good, it still passes California smog, and I love everything about it. Engine still runs good, transmission still shifts awesome. I believe the transmission has been rebuilt once, if I'm not mistaken. However, no other major work has been done to this car, aside from the transmission. But I love it. I love everything about it. I'm not really excited about doing any other major work to this car, though, because how weirdly the engine is laid out. Now, realistically, this is an engineering marvel, in my opinion. This is one of the weirdest parts about this car, how the engine is laid out. It's laid out longitudinally in the engine bay, which is odd for a front-wheel drive car. And the reason they did this is because of Chrysler's cab-forward design, which basically stretches the windshield farther over the front wheels. But they wanted a sleeker front nose. Mounting the engine the other way would not really give them the look they wanted, so they did this. Moving inside of the Concorde, of course, you have your fine leather. You have a leather-wrapped steering wheel, which is very disgusting, I might add. Your cruise control buttons on the steering wheel, a nicely laid out gauge cluster in front of you, a brand new Bluetooth converted radio with cassette and CD, fully automatic climate controls, no dual zone here. I'm pretty sure the LHS had that. Your automatic transmission shifter, and your center console, which is nicely laid out, except for these idiotically designed cup holders, which don't pop out anymore. Then you have your glove box, some nice fake wood trim, and that's about it. And a random cassette tape, because I'm too lazy to put it away. The original radio in this car was from Chrysler/Infinity Sound Systems. The speakers are from Infinity Sound Systems. They're really good, except the old radio was broken, because it had been messed with a little too much. Moving on to the back seat, we have lots of junk back here, like some towels to put on the seats if you're dirty, this random old Garmin GPS that I have back here for, retro sake, this Hawaiian-themed windshield cover, some more towels, some nice little AC vents that this one's broken, and a little knob here to turn the vents on and off, a little roll-around boy ashtray, and that's about it. Kind of minimalistic back here. You also have these hooks to hang up your laundry when you get it. Nice. This is the sound of quality. Inside the trunk. It's not as big as I'm trying to make it seem. Tall, rather. It actually is pretty extensive. There's also lots of car parts in here from work I still need to do. As you can see, there's more windshield covers under here. Some more tie rod ends, ball joints, the sun visor extension that fell off, a little air compressor, lots of other things like shopping bags, the antenna I still need to install. I already installed the new antenna. I actually did that today along with the new radio. I just need the male to female adapter for the antenna wire to actually connect it to the radio so I can have my tunes. That's about all there is to know about this car. In the 4 years of owning it, there's not really much that's gone wrong with it. There are a couple minor battle scars on the car, like this dent here when the lady's son got hit on the freeway, and the sun itself. Look what it's done. If there were any of you wondering, yes, there is going to be a video on this car on the channel someday. I'm getting there. Don't worry. Speaking of my YouTube channel, this is my 1990 Cadillac Alante, a miserable, hateful piece of garbage! Jokes aside, this is my 1990 Cadillac Alante. You guys have seen a couple videos of this car on the channel before. I picked this up from auction for $2,025 about 2 months ago. Some of the work I've done since then are repaint that quarter panel, or re-clear, which went well. Video on that coming up soon. Fixing the mistakes I've made. The interior still needs lots of work, so does the hardtop that I bought. Again, videos coming up. And the biggest thing here is registration. It has plates now. It is now legal to be driven on public roads, which is really big for me because this car really needs to be driven. But yeah, not much to update on this car. Nothing's really changed. I still need to finish repairing the center console, which had nothing existing in it when I bought the car. I did re-clear the bumper tops, which they look okay. Still need to do work on those. More videos on this car coming up in the future. Not sure when. Probably after New Year's. But, yeah, that's it. That's it to update on this car. Come on. Here's something else you guys haven't seen.
I'm a terrible influence.
This is my 1992 Craftsman LT 4000. And it's, quite frankly, a turd. This thing hasn't exactly been very reliable. I've had to basically rebuild the entire fuel system because this thing sat for like 20 years before I bought it for $700 roughly 3 years ago. And now it is basically non-running. I'm gonna complain more! This seat has a rip in it under this cover. I've had to replace 2 out of the 3 tires because they leaked. This right front tire and the other left rear tire. These 2 tires are still the ones that I bought with it. The engine is a Kohler overhead valve 1-cylinder, making a whopping 14 horsepower, as stated by the badge on the side, which is peeling off. And it is an air-cooled engine, and that's really it. After taking this footage 2 months ago, I didn't realize that my microphone had died, so I continued filming. Moral of the story is, there's a lot of issues with this tractor, and I'm going to be selling it shortly, hopefully for what I have in it, which is roughly around $1,000. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm Laser Parker. See you soon.